Today I'm sharing my favorite app for pelvic floor exercises during and after pregnancy. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sophie and I'm a pelvic health physiotherapist specialized in maternity care. And through my online coaching program, I support moms-to-be from all over the world to prepare their pelvis for an easy delivery and postpartum recovery. So if that's something you're into, I invite you to apply on a free discovery call with me in the description below so we can see if we're a fit to work together. Now, you don't have to tell me, I know that remembering to do pelvic floor exercises during and after pregnancy can be somewhat challenging, right? With the mommy brain and everything you've got on your plate. There is an app called Squeezy by NHS that I have been recommending to my clients for years to improve their accountability in regards to their home exercise program. So let's open the app and I will show you how to use it and how to modify the parameters depending on your goals. So when you open the Squeezy app, this is the screen you're going to have. The two things that I use the most is Exercise Plan and Squeeze Now. So let's go in Squeeze Now to show you what it looks like. Now, just a note before we get started that this app is really just to provide you with a visual of when to contract, when to relax, how many reps you've done, so you can stay accountable in your practice and you can set reminders as well every day. But it's not something that is connected to a device that you can put in your vagina to help you see if you're contracting properly or releasing properly. Does that make sense? So it's really just a visual prop for you. So here we're going to start in the slow contractions. There's also the quick ones that I use. I'm going to show you later. So let's click on play. All right, so you see here the little balloon is a great visual to show you the pelvic floor contracting and relaxing. And as pelvic health physiotherapists, we always like to use the visual of picking up a berry, right? And then letting the berry drop down. If you're not familiar with that concept, I have lots of videos about that. I can link them in the description below. So that's why I like that visual of the balloon coming up and then going down. So you see here that there's 4 different phases. I'm just going to pause it here. So this phase is called the squeeze phase. It is when you are actually coming up. Here is the hold phase. So it's once you are at the top of your contraction, you're going to hold it. So that's what this part is. Then you have the relax phase. So that's when you are going from the top until all the way to your rest state. And then the rest is basically you're just hanging out at the most restful state. So if I'm starting it again, you're going to see here, squeezing, we're going up, then we're holding, then we're relaxing, we're going back down, and here we're staying in the rest. Okay, so I just want you to know that because in the parameters, when we go back in the exercise plan, it's important to know these different terms that they're using because you can modify that, right? You could have just a squeeze and no holding time and then relax and rest. You could hold for longer. You could have a very short rest. So there's different things you can do with that, right? And once you are done, you're going to click on finish and you're going to click on the one you just completed. So we just did a set of slow contractions. So you can click here and then save. And then later on, you can refer back to your exercise record. All right, so now we're gonna go in exercise plan and I'm gonna show you how to set up different exercise plans depending on your goals. So click on exercise plan. And at the bottom here, you're gonna set up professional mode because we're gonna need that to set up the different parameters here. You have your sessions per day. I normally recommend between 1 and 2 a day for most of my programs. However, if you're working with a pelvic health physio already, they might have, 3, 4 exercise sessions a day for you. So, of course, follow their recommendations. And here we have reminders at the top. So if you click on reminders, you're gonna have the option of the app reminding you when it's time to squeeze, and you can set up the time here of all your reminders. And remind me again if I don't squeeze. So that's if, the reminder came up and you didn't do the exercise and you want a reminder to do it. So that's quite handy. My patients love this because they tend to forget to do their pelvic floor exercises. So having something to remind you is great. All right, so there's 3 different types of exercises you can do in Squeezy: the slow exercises, the quick exercises, and submax. I'm personally not using submax, so I'm just gonna go over slow and quick. So in slow here, you can set up your number of repetitions. Squeeze time, we already saw that. Remember, it's the time you take to go from rest to maximum contraction. Hold time is just holding the contraction. Relax is you're going from maximum contraction all the way down to rest. And rest is just hanging out at rest. So there are different programs that you can set in Squeezy in order to achieve different goals. This first program is good for pelvic floor tightness or labor prep, people who really want to focus more on the relaxation part of the pelvic floor exercise rather than the squeeze and the contraction. So I'm going to show you here. I would set up this squeeze time to 3 seconds. The hold time will be 0. Relax time, I would say between 3 and 5 seconds, and then rest time at 12 seconds. So you can see here that we're only squeezing just to say that we're going at the top of our contraction, but we're not staying here. We're gonna relax right away and then relax for a good 2 full breaths. 12 seconds is 2 or 3 full breaths, which is great. So let's see what it will look like in Squeeze Now. So go back to your home screen, Squeeze Now, press play. And here we're squeezing and lifting, but right away we're releasing, letting go. Nice belly breath here. Still thinking of melting these muscles. And if you're struggling with releasing your pelvic floor, I've got a full list of videos for you. So I'm going to link them in the description below. I've also got a playlist about pelvic floor tightness if that is something you're struggling with. So this program would be great for you if you're having some challenges with pelvic floor tension. If my goal was to strengthen my pelvic floor, then I would want to have a program that focuses more on the contraction and holding that contraction for a little longer. So I'm going to show you here. If we go back in exercise plan, we're going to set up that squeeze time still at 3 seconds, but then we're going to hold that contraction between 5 and 10 seconds. We're gonna go back down in 3 seconds and then rest for maybe 5 seconds, I'd say. So that's what it would look like. My squeeze time, I rarely go over 3 or 5 seconds because all I want is to go up. And then once I'm up, I decide, do I want to go down right away or do I want to hold that contraction? Anyway, that's how I practice. I know other physios might have other opinions. And then, holding time is really depending on the client. If I assess you and I notice that you can't hold for more than 6 seconds, then of course I'm not going to prescribe a program that goes to 8 or 10 seconds. We're going to start with what you're able to hold. So it's all people dependent, right? I'm just giving you kind of a general guideline, but getting assessed by a pelvic health physiotherapist could be a good idea if you have no idea where you're starting from. So let's go in Squeeze Now and see what that would look like. So let's start. Okay, so we're squeezing, but here we're holding that contraction. All right, we're staying nice and tight at the top, and then relaxing, letting go, melting these muscles, and resting. And then again, squeezing and lifting, holding. And you know, if someone needed more rest time before contracting again, that's totally fine to leave yourself more rest. I think you can't go wrong with resting more, but you can go wrong if you're not resting enough and you're just tiring your pelvic floor and it never kind of contract properly again because it's so tired. So yeah, leaving plenty of time for rest. So that would be an idea of a strengthening program. And you might need to be careful about strengthening programs because sometimes people think they need to strengthen their pelvic floor, but they might not. I have a video about Kegels, bad or not, that you should watch because it talks about pelvic floor tightness and how it can lead to symptoms that can be similar to symptoms that would happen with a weak pelvic floor. And there's different exercises for different scenarios. So yeah, watch that video if you haven't watched it, because I think it could kind of bring to your attention that maybe you don't need strengthening. So yeah, that would be a program for strengthening. Now, if I wanted someone to work on their coordination of their pelvic floor, so fast contractions, so squeezing fast, releasing fast, repeating that a few times. This can be helpful when people experience urine leakage with sneezing and coughing, for example. Then I would use the quick exercises option. So you can, again, set how many repetitions you want to do. So say we're setting 10 reps and the speed of the contractions. I find that speed C is already pretty fast, but you know, still doable. So normally I will start people on speed A or B, but I want to show you what speed C looks like. Make sure that you're clicking on quick here at the top because we don't want the slow contractions, we want the quick ones. So squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. So it's already quite fast in my opinion. But you know, if someone was coming to me and already had that pelvic floor coordination, I'd be quite happy, to be quite honest. So normally I will start people in speed A or B. So let's go back to exercise plan and we're gonna select speed A just to give you an example. So that is speed A, you know. So yeah. And then you can go to, let's say, speed D or even E, just to show you the other extreme. Whoops, I'm in slow here. Let's select quick instead. Okay, this is crazy. Like, I don't normally aim for that with my clients. Honestly, if they have C or D, I'm quite happy. So starting with A and then working your way up. And even if speed A is too fast for people, I say just do it on your own, you know, go as fast as you can, as quick as you can, and then release as quick as you can. And whenever you feel like you're fully relaxed, go back up. Because sometimes people need more time than 2 seconds to fully relax, and it's really important to fully relax in between reps because we don't want to fatigue the pelvic floor. So yeah, this would be a great program for people with, like I said, problems with sneezing and coughing and having urine leaks. If you're feeling a little bit lost about the specific type of exercises that you should be doing at different stages of your maternity journey, this is something I teach in my online coaching program, which starts in early pregnancy. So hop on a free discovery call with me if you'd like to chat about it. The link is in the description below. Thanks for watching.